Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome to my channel if you are new here, and if not, welcome back. I'm a secular homeschooling mom to 3 small kiddos, and today we're going to talk about the different games and activities that we do in our house to help with my son with reading and comprehension. So if you're new here, I have an almost 6-year-old, an almost 3-year-old, and a 3-month-old, and my son does have some dyslexic tendencies. Now, if you have not seen my other video about curriculum we choose or about my all about reading videos, I will link those for you guys. But we do use all about reading for our learning to read program. After a lot of trial and error, that is what works best for our son. Now, they do have a lot of games and stuff like that involved in that curriculum, but we like to do a lot of different games and activities to help solidify that in him. So most of these games we got off of Amazon. I will link those down below for you guys if I can find the same one or something similar for you. But the first one we have is this little fly swatter sight word game. So in these we have little words like of, wash, again, come, all these different sight words. There's, at least 100 of them in this pouch. And then they also come with cards. Now, I haven't used the cards myself because we do use All About Reading. There's a specific way that they go about teaching certain words, but this is an option for you. So it'll say level 1 and it'll list the words, and then it goes to level 2 all the way up to level 5. And so, and then they're color coded on here with the little flies. And then it comes with 4 different fly swatters. So the way that we set this up is I've actually gone ahead and divided these out with words that I know he knows and words that he does not know. So I'm not searching through them all the time. And I set out maybe 5 or 6 at a time on the table. We do these 2 different ways. Either he swats a fly and he has to tell me what it says, or I say a word and he has to swat the correct one. And then each one he gets correct, he gets that one until we go through that. And we might play 5 or so rounds of that game with just a few cards out at a time. I find that's key, at least for my son, to only do a few flies out at a time. So that way it's not so overwhelming and he's not searching, through 20 flies or so. We use the fly swatters as well with our All About Reading curriculum. There are these cards that come with it, and sometimes I will set the cards out and then he will have to swat it with those. So they are used for different things, but he loves this game. Our second one is this little sight word puzzle. This is from the Learning Journey International, and these have pictures of different things with short 3-letter sight words on them. And so then he has to pick the correct letters to spell this. We've only used this one a couple of times, mainly because he hasn't started spelling yet. We will be doing All About Spelling once he finishes All About Reading level 1, but we have to use this with words that I know he knows how to spell, and he has enjoyed this one a lot. This next one was actually a present. Pro tip, Christmas and birthday presents, send links of fun learning games, homeschooling games, to Nanas and Papas. So we've got Zingo, and this one is a bingo game. And so there's this little machine that when you push a button, it sets out some cards, and you have to see if you have it on your card. If you do, you cover it up, and you need to try to get a bingo first. Now, I will say this one does have more complicated words like worm, smile with that silent E, ghost with the silent H, things like that, but they have pictures. I do find that my son does rely a lot on the pictures on this. I'm not doing anything too much about it right now, just because it's still him looking at the word and kind of connecting the dots that way. But I think as we continue on with this, as I know he knows how to read the words real well, we could just stick some tape over the pictures on things and then he just uses the words, or we could come up with our own game cards. But nevertheless, he loves this little game here. Next, we have this Bob Book worksheet. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you know that we went from How to Teach Your Kid in 100 Easy Lessons to Bob Books with this, and then All About Reading. Even though we're not doing Bob Books specifically, he still likes these worksheets. So this worksheet is K through 1, and we still have the box set. So he will read a book, he knows the story, and then there's multiple different worksheets on each book. So for example, this one says, use cat, sat, and is to complete each sentence, then read the story and color each picture. So he had to write sat. So Tom sat on mop. Jack was a cat, and he had to write that in. And this one is color Tom, Mop, Jack, and Zach. Who sat on mop? And obviously he didn't do this worksheet, but these are just fun that help more with reading comprehension. Now we do a lot of books where we're reading and I'll ask him questions, but this, he does love drawing in the pictures and writing and things like that. Our second workbook is this sight word practice. So there's 100 write and learn practice pages. Now these are really cool. I'll find a page we haven't done yet. So this one says for, and he has to trace and write the letter or the word for, then write it without tracing. And then at the bottom here, there's these little tabs that he has to cut out each of the letters, and he has to glue them here. And then he has to write for here again. And then we come up with a sentence that uses the number 4. So what I'll do is I will write, I had 4 dogs, for example. I'll write it up here, and then he will have to copy my sentence down here. This is great because it requires repetition in multiple different facets. And that's one of the reasons why we like All About Reading. So he has to do the number multiple different times. That kind of helps solidify it in his head on that word. Now, our last activity that we really do, and this is probably my son's favorite, especially since it's summertime, we're doing this a lot, is we do washing words or letters. So we go on the driveway and I will write a bunch of different letters or words in chalk on our driveway. And I give my son the hose. And I will say the sound of a letter, or I will say the word, and he has to wash away the word off of the driveway. Especially since it's summer and hot here, he's been loving this game, and it's probably his favorite. If you have any tips or tricks on things that you do in your homeschool to help solidify reading, please leave a comment down below. I'm always looking for fun and exciting things to incorporate into our homeschooling, and that would give a chance to give moms other ideas as well. Like this video if you like this sort of content, and subscribe down below if you like videos like this one. And I will catch you guys later. Bye.